We're here at Viking's home on the shore of Lake Tahoe with Fanette Island here in the background. I want to talk today about expectations. Let me just give you a fundamental truth. A fundamental truth is that unfulfilled expectations damage relationships. And what I mean by that is anytime two or more people come together in any type of a relationship, they come into that relationship with certain expectations. Expectations about the other person, how they're going to act, how they're going to behave. So you as a police officer, anytime you have an interaction, a contact with a citizen, whether it be a criminal or a complainant or what have you, there's a certain set of expectations on the part of both parties that influence the outcome of that relationship, the outcome of that transaction. For example, let's say two people come together in a marriage relationship. Oftentimes there are some very unrealistic expectations on the part of both parties. You know, the woman comes in thinking that the man is going to be able to meet all of her emotional needs. And the man comes into the relationship thinking that his wife is going to be able to meet all of his physical needs. And of course we know that's not true, but if those expectations are not modified, at some point in time, the relationship may have a lot of trouble in the future. A lot of damage can occur. Same thing is true when we deal with individuals in a law enforcement capacity. Here I am at Lake Tahoe. I'd never been here before, and I had certain expectations about this place. Thankfully, Lake Tahoe has exceeded my expectations. It is much prettier, much more pristine, much more natural beauty, much more awesome and awe-inspiring than I expected. So when I come out and see this type of natural beauty, my natural inclination is just to say, wow, this is incredible. This is far more than I counted on. If, however, this has been kind of a dumpy place and the water was dirty and we didn't have these majestic mountains in the background, I might have been very discouraged by coming here and not having my expectations met. You can think of it like a continuum. On one end of the continuum, we're not meeting the person's expectations. Right in the center is where we meet their expectations. And on this end of the spectrum is where we exceed the expectations. So often in law enforcement, we try so hard just to meet the other person's expectations. And meeting expectations becomes our standard of excellence. That's a very false standard for a number of reasons. First and foremost, we don't know where this person's expectations are. They could have very unrealistic expectations based on their own experiences, based on TV, the media, or whatever, what other people have told them. And we don't know exactly where on the spectrum their expectations are. Many times their expectations are so unrealistic, we'll never be able to meet them. So my message to you from a police dynamic standpoint is it's up to you to take the initiative to intentionally ground the other person's expectations in reality. And the way in which you do that is you tell them what you're going to do before you do it. It sounds so simple, but we miss this very basic point. We go into a situation, we go into a contact, we go into a scenario, and we try our best to meet this person's expectations. And we do our job, and for the most part we do it well. But since we did not control where their expectations are, we may never be able to meet that moving target. So by telling the individual what you're going to do first, man, let me tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to come in, we're going to take a full detailed report. I'm going to give you a full inventory of everything that was stolen or damaged during this incident. You're going to have the ability to pick a copy of that report up so you can file it with your insurance company to assist you with the claim. I'm going to take a good detailed look around the premises for any evidence that might help us catch the perpetrator in the future. Those are some things that you know you can do going into that scenario. You tell them what you're going to do, and then very methodically, you do each and every one of those things. You meet their expectations. But you have set the expectations, not them, by telling them what you're going to do first. Then after you've met their expectations, my challenge to you is go just a little bit farther. Go just a little bit farther into exceeding the expectations and give them that wow experience. That wow experience translates into a grateful spirit. It translates into public support and public trust. And that's what we're after in building our relationships with the public. On the other hand, if you fail to meet those expectations, that's not a wow experience, that's an ow experience. And those hurt. That siphons trust out of the relationship. So my challenge to you is, during the course of your duties, every single day, find an opportunity to give at least one person a wow experience. And you're going to see the public trust and support for you and your agency just grow and grow and grow as more and more officers and deputies buy into this idea of setting their expectations in reality. You ground them by telling them what you're going to do and then doing it. Incidentally, we have a word to describe that person. The person that does what they say they're going to do, we say that person has a lot of integrity. And that is the cornerstone of building trust in any relationship. I'm Sheriff Ray Nash, Police Dynamics Media from Lake Tahoe.